Welcome everyone back to the Crimson 15 podcast. I'm your host, Crimson Sen.
M15 PCA.
A10454.
Be sure to check us out over on Twitter at C15 Podcast. Join the discussion over on Discord, link in the description below. And if you're enjoying the videos, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit that bell for notifications. The Owl House Season 2, Episode 5, Through the Looking Glass Ruins. And just so you guys know, I do little mini, like 2-3 minute reviews over on my TikTok. There's a link in the description below. So if you want to get reviews quicker, just my general thoughts really fast, you guys can check that out. And then here on YouTube, I do the big, long, scene by scene breakdown of everything I want to talk about here. So if you want to catch, a quick review, check it out there. But this one is... It's, again, is it law that there has to be an A plot and B plot? It should have just focused on one story and then did the Lumity stuff in another story, because it just takes over the episode. It should be an episode all about Gus, but he doesn't get a lot of attention. But this one is really good for him. There's issues with how magic works in this world, but why undercut it with the shipping stuff? Because we all know shipping, especially girl shipping, will take over everything. It doesn't matter. Nothing else matters. Not about animation quality, story quality, character development. Nothing else matters. Just having girls hold hands, blush, and kiss. You have a bona fide Twitter hit. It may not be a hit with everyone else, but boy, Twitter will absolutely love your show, and that just takes over the whole episode. But just to jump right in, you see Gus and he's super sad and he's sitting by some lockers and he's crying. He messed up. Then we don't know how he messed up. Luz walks up. He's like, hey, I heard about what happened with Willow, and she's trying to cheer him up. Luz has a big heart. I like that about her. She cares about her friends. She wants to make sure that they're not sad. She wants to make them happy. Even though sometimes she really does screw up, she has really good intentions. But we're like, oh, what happened? I guess, because of course Luz is like, don't worry, Willow's going to be fine. She's going to still be your friend, because Willow's a good person too. Then we get back to Gus is just laying in the middle of the room like, oh, I can't believe what I just did. I guess there was an accident, and then he was kind of at fault, and he's kind of blaming himself because he's not really good with his own magic. He gets a contacts Willow. I guess he sent a bunch of these little illusion versions of himself, the tiny versions of himself, to go help her out, but they're too much. They're like, oh, what can I do? Can I help you? Hey, what do you need, Willow? They're physically interacting with her. But then later on in the episodes, they say that the illusions can't interact with you, but they can. We've seen them do stuff. I don't understand. In the comments below, explain to me, how do these illusions, and other times in the past he's made illusions, they had effects on the world. They weren't just like holograms where you couldn't physically touch them, but they can. But then later on they can't. I'm not understanding the magic here. But yeah, she's like, oh, don't worry, whatever. Then he recalls them, and they're like, oh, where is she? And then they get blown away. I like how they act like they're dying, and they get blown off. But
where's Willow? Why are we here? Did we do bad?
But Gus is just in this bad spot. He just feels like, oh man, I'm not doing enough. Or the thing is, like, maybe it's not the fact that I'm not doing enough. It's just that I'm not even good enough. I'm trying to do good, and I can't because my illusions suck. He's starting to feel that way, but it doesn't. You need illusionists on your team. It's all about building a balanced party in an RPG. You want to have one of every kind. I mean, if you think illusionist sucks, check out Jace. He's awesome. Then we get knock at the door, and it's Luz, and then she's like saying, oh, hey, Gustifer. Hey, I know Gustifer. And she's just trying to be like, hey, what's going on? Hey, man, hey, big guy. Like all those stupid little things. She's like, oh, you just need something from me. You need my library card. And she's like, oh, yeah, I'm not really good at this whole, kind of let me butter you up. But she's like, yeah, I need to borrow your library card because I guess, remember how she said there's a book of a guy. There was a human that lived in the boiling. I'll say that. Oh my God, what's the name of the actual world? But he's been in this world, and it was a long, long time ago, and he wrote a journal. So, maybe that can help me find a way back home. Then, and of course, she's always trying to cheer him up and everything, which is great. That's what I love that about Luz. Then there's some he's talking to her saying, hey, maybe I need to change up my magic track. Maybe I don't want to be an illusionist. Maybe I can do something else, something more cool, something more impactful. Then we see a beast attack. And then we see these other three characters, and think, oh, okay, more one-offs. Remember the three kids that were in detention? The little cat kid, the skinny guy, and there was the other girl. I thought she was pretty cute. they're one-offs, right? We're never gonna see them again, and it feels kind of, I don't say wasted, but like they have unique and cool character designs, and then they're just kind of just blip. We're never gonna see them again. But I guess they're all working together and to capture this beast, and then we get this one girl who's obviously the leader, and Gus is like, oh man, these guys are so cool. They're doing all kinds of awesome stuff. And I like how that little dude was gonna get attacked by the monster. That kid who talks like this. It's funny because his voice is like that. Then his dad says him, and his dad has a normal voice, but his son just has his voice. It's an amazing. I love that character so much.
Son, are you okay?
Yes, Daddy. Thank you, mysterious heroes.
Then they go and talk to him, and of course, Gus like, wow, you guys are so awesome. The one guy does plants, and the other guy's abominations, and it's just like all the things he's not. And he's like, oh, you guys are so awesome. They're from some other school, and they look like Hexside looks like the school that's on the right side of the tracks, and there's the school that's like the bad school, because they kind of just like, not saying they're just like buns, but they're kind of like more fantasy garb, and while Hexsides look like more like real uniforms. But they seem to be pretty nice. And then it's what's his face, that guy that was kind of like Gus's rival, and he's a jerk. But they saved his life, and he's still kind of being jerky. And I don't know. I guess it's one of those things where it's like, if I can make someone below me, maybe they stop picking on me and they just pick on him, and I'm saving myself. It's selfish, it's cowardly, but he's still just a kid. I guess they sent them off to find some map, and they're going to be looking for these like power stones, like these like crystals that give you all kinds of power. I'm thinking, if these things are this strong, you telling me some kids are going to find it? Was this the freaking Goonies? So they kind of invite him along, and he's like, oh no, I'm just, because he's just an illusionist. But then Luce, this girl, well-intended, she is like talking him up, saying how great and wonderful it is. And even Gus like, okay, Luce, come over here. I know what you're doing. Thank you for the vote of confidence, but do not oversell me. Please do not do that, because I may not be able to live up to your boastfulness. I don't know. But then she goes, hey, I got an idea. Here's a bunch of like some of my sigils, those the rune thingies. And since anyone can do these magics, you just got to hit them, and they work. And whenever Luce gives you this face, it's going to go down. She's going to screw up. You're going to get in trouble, because she's well-meaning, but she's kind of a dummy. Then this girl's she knows what she's doing. She's being sweet on Gus, and Gus kind of likes it. Oh, well, a boy likes a girl. I didn't think that was possible in a cartoon anymore. But of course, she's really cute, and she seems nice. I had an odd feeling about these three, because it seemed too good to be true. Like they're too good of friends. Then Luce is like, hey, Luce is going to go off to the library. She gets in there, and I just don't like the mixture of this. Like they have Google, like a Google search thing. What I don't like is somehow, so you're telling me the magical realm and the earth, we've got similar technologies at the same time. So things developed, like they have the Crow cell phones and everything. It's just stupid. Why couldn't it just be like it's like a crystal ball. It's like the microfilm where you just kind of go through like the things, and she's looking up human stuff, and there's a thing for Ida because she sells human stuff. And then she finds the journal. It's been put into this like secret place in the library. She sees Amity. She has like her hair down, which is, I think, again, she thinks she looks better with her hair down. But the little kid grabbed her hairband, and she's really sweet with the kids, and I love that. I love characters who are good to children and are kind to kids. And she's like, oh, come on, if you give me back my hair braid, my hair tie, I'll read your favorite story tomorrow. And the girl's like, oh, yay. She ties her hair back. And then, of course, Luce gets all the blushy faces, which she never did before. There's times like when she went dancing, like at the Grom, she did not a single blush. But now she's all blushy now. It's really weird. I don't know, like she got it backwards. Like she did all the kind of cutesy girlfriend stuff without blinking an eye, and now she's like super blushy just looking at her. The twins show up, and they're like, hey, how's it going, Luce? They know that they like each other, so they're gonna kind of try to push them in the right direction. And they're like, oh, I'm looking for a book on like pimple cream or something like that, because he has a date tonight, and which is really cute. And then they see Amity, and Amity shows up, and then now they've got all the flusterness, like they're doing the blushy faces. They can't even talk around each other. It was cute when it was one sided with Amity because she liked Luce, but now Luce likes her back, and now she can't act normal. I don't know. It's weird. I guess people love this kind of stuff. But the brother and sister kind of notice, oh yeah, we get to go over here, and then she kind of drags them away so they can be alone and talk, which is a cool move for them to do. Like, oh, because they're not gonna wanna, talk about anything when other people are around. Caring about someone, loving someone, crushing. It's embarrassing. So just you don't want anyone around. So they skedaddle, and she's like, hey, I'm looking for this book from this library from this guy. He had a journal. He was human. She's like, oh, that's going to be like in the hidden area. And she's like, oh, you can't get in there because you got to have like a special pass. She's like, well, my work ID, because she works at the library, can get me in. But she's like, but you have to listen to me. You have to do what I say because I can lose my job. And I don't want to do that, but I want to help you. And then, of course, she's going to do anything because she likes the girl. And they open it up, they go in there, and of course, like the most scariest freaking place in the world. We get back to the other storyline, and we see one of the other guys like really into like butterflies, and the guy, oh, I'm gonna be good at abominations, and maybe Dad will notice me. Here's the thing: does every cartoon, every character gonna have problems with their freaking parents? But they get to this first like big old bramble forest, and they can't get through it. And she's like, well, come on, Gus, show some of your magic. That'd be great if you can get us through this. Then he's like, oh man, okay. Then he sees like one of the spells, and he thinks, thank goodness he doesn't remember what it is. He's like, oh, hopefully this is the fireball one. Here's something awesome. They don't even bring it up, but I noticed he does his circle. So that's like his illusion circle thing to do his regular magic. But then he does the fireball through it, and it like amplifies it, because look how big of a hole this thing made. That's crazy. Kind of showing, I guess, if you mix the magics, they can be really, really strong. But how does one even control how this works? Do you just think, like when Luce is making a vine whip, how does she know how long to make it? Like in her mind, did she realize, oh, make it 10 feet, and then when she hits the rune, it's 10 feet? Like I don't know how this magic works. I wish they would take more time to explain it, but he knocks a big old hole in the thing, and the neighbor's like, oh wow, Gus, you did a great job. Then of course, what's his face is like, I got my eye on you. There's something fishy with what you're doing. They get back to the library, and they're doing their stuff, and they're constantly, falling on top of each other and blushing, and on top of each other and blushing. And she's like, I'm not used to this kind of human stuff. And she's like, well, maybe when, I make this portal, I can go back home. I can take you there and show you around, and then it won't feel so weird and awkward. But we have to find that book. And then, of course, she's like, we're going to find that book. You're thinking with your other part. You're not thinking with your head. Let's make this as clean as possible. You're thinking with your heart, but we really know what you're thinking with. And she's like, oh, we got to do this. So they're looking around, and I want to, if I was the older brother and sister, I'd be like, hey, this is probably Amity's first crush, her first boyfriend, girlfriend relationship. How many people, the first person you ever were attracted to, you dated and you're with them forever and ever? That just doesn't happen. So I'm not saying, temper your expectations, Amity, but at the same time, realize you just have a lot of hormones going on right now, keeping it clean, but you just kind of want that intimacy a little bit. And I think once you get it out of your system, you're gonna calm down. She needs to unwind. You know what I'm saying? It's a little intense. Get back to the other kids, and they have names, but I don't remember what their names are. Then it's just a little montage of Gus using all the different spells. So he uses the vine thing to stop something, and that girl's like, she's just saying, hey, just kind of being like, and Gus kind of wants to impress her because it's a girl, she's cute, he's there. Hey, he never takes a shot, but he wants them to think he's cool too. But then it starts getting a little like, well, come on, guys, you have to do what I say. And it's like, oh, she's evil, she's a bully. She's one of those kind bullies who just says nice things to get people to do what she wants, and then she's just a complete jerk. They get to this fabled like illusion place, and he's like, hey, wait a second, guys. This is an illusionist graveyard. This is like, say, hollowed ground, right? Like, we can't be stealing these things. This is wrong. But they have the statues are all holding the orbs, and she grabs one, and then she uses her fire magic, or she does like the construction, the building stuff, and she's able to make this giant pillar, very Full Out Alchemist. It's a giant pillar, and it's huge. And she's like, "Wow, this thing's amplify your magic." But then they made multiple references to how this couldn't amplify illusion magic. Why not? They say that, because you can't touch illusions. But like I said in the earlier, you can. We've shown in other episodes, and even in this episode, those little Gusses were climbing all over Willow, and she was reacting to them, so they can touch you. And even if it wasn't physical, why wouldn't this Power Stone be able to make you make a grand illusion, like a giant one, or make it more believable? Like, why wouldn't it work with illusionists? Again, in the comments below, let me know. Am I crazy in thinking that there should be a way for these things to work? But yeah, so he's seeing all these names like, guys, this is wrong. We got to put these back. We can't be stealing from graveyards. That's freaking, like, really bad. Then she's like, oh, come on, Gus. I'll even let you hold mine. Like, she's trying to, be sweet on him again. But he's like, no, I'm taking this away from you. Then we see this big kind of like monster looking thing. And it's from in the trailer. I'm like, oh, it's kind of like a water dragon looking thing. They get all scared, and since Gus told them that it was an illusionist graveyard, he knows, oh, this is an illusion. Like, oh, geez, why did he give that up? But it does look pretty scary. It would scare anyone away. Get back to the library. They're walking around, and she just happens to find the book. She's just like, could you imagine going to like the Library of Congress, randomly walking around and just pulling a book off the shelf, and it's the one you were looking for? Like, are you kidding me? But yeah, then there was this little mouse that ate all the pages. So like it's gone. And then Lucy's like, damn it, you stupid mouse or whatever. But it was so loud, it like woke up the guy, who he's a big, scary looking guy. Then I thought, oh, he's not going to do anything. And that's the joke. He's like, Amity, I'm so disappointed in you. I trusted you. I give you a job. But he's like this kind of, so he's not as scary. He's this big guy, but he's not scary. He's like, I got to do this. I got to fire you. Give me your badge. Take the badge away. So the one thing she didn't want to happen, this job meant a lot to Amity, because remember, she had her secret little reading room. She loves working with the kids. That's like, I love that aspect of Amity so much, and she can't have it anymore. And she lost it because she was not thinking with her head. And she wanted to do something nice for the girl she had a crush on, and it made you do something stupid, because that's what happens when you like somebody. Then she's like, I'm fired. And then, of course, she's starting to cry like, I lost everything. But then Luce is crying too, because it's her. She realizes, I hurt my friend. I for what I wanted, my little thing, which is her going back home because she misses her mom and everything. It's a big deal. But to Amity, this job was a big deal too. So she's crying too. So they both feel really bad. And then even Amity's like, oh, she was super upset, but seeing Luce upset was like hurt her more. But she's like, you know what? I not right now, Luce. I gotta go. I'll talk to you later. And she just walks away. And then of course Luce's like, you know what? Forget it. I'm going to solve this. I'm going to make this right. I like how she like pulls her hair back. So it's like that weird slick hair. It doesn't look so good. Her hair looks normal whenever how they have it. This is not a good look for her. But then Gus is fighting this thing, and he's like, wait a second, maybe I can make my own illusion. So he makes the same kind of creature. Then the guy pops out like, whoa, that was a really great illusion. I haven't had an illusionist show up in the graveyard in many, many years. Oh, so how's it going, man? Is it kind of talking to him because, hey, illusions got to stick together. And he's like, whoa, wait a second. What are you doing? He's like, oh, basically I'm trying to keep people from getting these stones. They're too powerful. And who's better to protect them than illusionists who can't use them? Again, it makes no sense for why an illusionist couldn't use these things. But they're like, haha, it was just fake. We're going to just take these things. And since you guys are just illusionists, you can't stop us. So they go and collect all the things. And the other kid, the one that was kind of his rival, again, I forget his name. Oh, I forgot. It wasn't Alexander. It was something. But you can tell that they're just mean. Like, oh, whoever, they're just pushing him around. So they're bullying him. And he goes over to Gus because they kind of captured him in some, like in a vine. He's like, hey, I didn't know she was going to do this. And he's like, you know what? You saved me back there. Remember when they saved him in that other episode? He's like, hey, I'm gonna cut you loose. So he's not 100% bad because he realized, hey, this Gus has honor. Robbing a graveyard, it's scummy. And even though this kid's kind of a jerk, he's not like these other kids. But then Gus is like, hey, wait a second, I know what to do. then he kind of makes like a really cool illusion. Like he goes all out with his illusion. And it's not just like, oh, making tiny gusses of himself. He's makes like all this fog appear, and then he makes like a butterfly. And that one kid is like really into the butterflies, but then it was kind of like, I don't know, a sexy butterfly. It kind of winks at him like, okay, I don't know. That's weird, right? Like this guy's a little too into butterflies. So he goes chasing after it. He's like, fine, whatever, more power stones for me. Then he makes that kid's dad. And it's funny because he doesn't know what this kid's dad looks like. So he like basically makes a bigger version of him with the mustache. He's like, oh, Dad, where did you get the mustache? Oh, shut up, kid. Let's go hang out. So he doesn't even know what his dad looks like. So she loses her two buddies. She's like, you idiots, these are just illusions. And he does like a scary illusion where he like takes her into the darkness and then pulls into another, like the whole world changes. Then the statues come to life. They're bleeding from the eyes. Super scares like, it's done. This is just an illusion. I'm going to use my magic. And her magic stops working. Then her hands turn to stone and break off. And then like everything turns red. It's a scary thing. Like the thing like grabs her leg and she freaks out and she just runs out of there. And the illusion ends. She was using her magic, but the illusion was so strong, it was making her actually feel and think and see that she wasn't casting spells. Super awesome, very powerful magic. But look at Gus, he's all tuckered out because of it. But that guy's like, hey man, doing that, making her think her magic wasn't working was super strong illusion magic. That's awesome. So Gus is like, yeah, illusions aren't so bad after all. Then, they put all the stones back. I like how they rebuild and it looks like absolute trash. But they tried their best. So he's like, hey, you guys can come back whenever you want and practice and stuff and do things, and I can show you stuff. Like, oh, that'd be cool. And then the guy's like, dude, that guy's totally a ghost. But they're like, are we friends now? But they kind of like jive at each other. Super awesome. I wish the whole episode was about this. Get back to Amity, and then she's kind of talking. They're combing her hair because she's like, oh, your roots are starting to show. Did you want to re-dye your hair green? And then she starts like, oh, I don't know, and I lost my job, and I'm doing all kinds of stupid things that I would never do before. And when Luce is around, I'm not thinking straight. It's because you're into her. And whenever you like someone, you do stupid things, you say dumb things. It's just how it works. There's like very few people are immune to such things. So then they're like, oh, but they're kind of like, like, hey, maybe changing things is good. Maybe you need to change your hair. She's like, oh, maybe I'll think of something else. So she goes with purple. I like the style, like the shape of her hair, like they redid her hair completely. Purple, I don't know. It's okay. I don't know. Comments below. Do you guys like her green hair or her purple hair? I got so used to her green hair that I kind of like don't like the change, but I don't know. Maybe it'll grow on me. But then Luce is knocking at the door. And she's like, oh, wow. She's like, oh, I kind of went for a change. She's like, oh, yeah. Here you go. I got you this. They got her job back. She's like, oh, what did you do? Well, I went back in there and I kind of begged for your job. So I had to like store a bunch of books and I had to fight a paper dragon. Wouldn't it have been great to see that? Wouldn't it have been awesome to have a whole episode just about this? And then we could have explored all that stuff instead of just splitting up 2 different episodes. It's stupid. But she went back and got her job back, which is super awesome for Luce to do. And it's because I hurt you. And that's the thing. When you screw up, you apologize, which she did. You try to make it better. Sometimes you can't make it better, but you have to try to make it right. And Luce did. Super awesome. Great. Luce has a huge heart. I love that. Then that little mouse that ate the book showed up, and it's the exact same mouse. She's like, oh, wait a second. This is an echo mouse, and they can repeat anything that they eat in the library. How convenient. Absolutely ridiculous. What a stupid BS thing to come out of nowhere. So it plays the part of the book, and then we see this guy. This is Bellows, right? Am I right? Just let me know. Just comment with the winky face if I'm right. This guy's Bellows. I know I'm way behind in episodes, but that's who this person is, right? It's too much. They gave this guy way too much of a voice and a background for him not to be important. I guarantee this guy's Bellows. But because it's oldie times. I went to the strange world and all the things, and maybe I can find a way back, make his own portal. Then she's like, wow, that's awesome. And then Amity is looking at the thing, the badge. She looks over at Luce and she's getting like, oh, she likes her. She goes and gives her a kiss on the cheek. And then like the brother's like, whoa, bold move. Okay. In 2021, Are we not allowed to show affection to people without their permission? Is that like a thing? Oh, he didn't ask her permission when he kissed her. But so it's okay when a girl kisses a girl and she didn't have to ask Luz's permission. You know what I'm saying, guys? But you guys are all idiots. If you honest to God believe that, you're a moron. She likes her. They kind of like each other. And then they kind of get the whole like double blushy face. And then she's like, okay, yeah, okay, see you later, bye. And she like runs off. And it's like, she didn't not like it. So you should be fine. And then Luz kind of like has the hoo-hoo. Because that's probably their it's a kiss on the cheek. Does that count? Is that a first kiss? Nah, I don't call it a first kiss. But that's probably the first time anyone's shown like physical attraction, like intimacy, like, oh, I like you. So there you go. There's the only thing that people care about. Was it cute? Yeah. Is Amity a bad person like Catra? No. It's fine. But my goodness, people, it's not the only thing in the show. And that's not the only reason to fight for the show. Please fight for shows because you care about the characters in the storylines and the world, and you want to see what happens, not because you want to watch two little girls blush and kiss. Please broaden your horizons into things to where you can enjoy something more than just that, because there's plenty of shows that don't have any shipping at all that got nothing, that get lost and forgotten. But I guarantee you, if they would have had a girl ship, it would have been fought for, and that is pathetic, and I absolutely hate that. It's fine. I don't care. They're good characters. They obviously care about each other. That's a good thing. And no one's abusive. It's not like Catra. But guys, let it be known you can like something more or dislike something if it has a girl ship or a boy ship. And you can like it for more than just that too. But I'm trying to catch up with these reviews. Work has been hammering me. I've been, doing overtime and everything, trying to fund my comic book idea. I got to hire some artists. But thanks guys for watching. I will continue this series. Shippers ruin a lot of things for me. That's why I kind of stopped. But thanks for watching, guys. Leave comments below, and catch you guys on the next one. Crimson Sin here. Thanks for watching the video. Remember, you can contact us on any of the social media platforms in the description down below. And while you're here, be sure to click on one of the videos over on the right.